record on the computer. Okay, I think it's recording. All right, hi everybody. Welcome to our Zoom tonight. Thanks for hopping on, and happy almost Valentine's Day to those of you who celebrate that. I am Cassie, for those of you that are joining us from Elizabeth's team. And we are so excited to have Elizabeth Guyver on here tonight. Elizabeth went Emerald in October, the last day of October, isn't that right?
Yep.
I know she was pushing for it when we were at Leaders Retreat, so we were all kind of pulling for her, and her team really ramped up and they got it done. So she went Emerald in October, so she will be getting, well, she got her new car, and she will be getting her trip to Hawaii in September. I have somebody knocking at my door. But I am going up. I met Elizabeth probably 2 years ago. I know we hung out quite a bit at Leaders Retreat in Washington, D.C. And then just every time I go to Tulsa now, we just kind of see each other. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to hand it over to you and let you get started. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. If you have a question, there's a little chat box at the bottom. You can type your question in there, or you can unmute yourself, raise your hand, whatever you need to do. Okay?
Okay. Let me tell you, when I talk, I don't pay attention to chat.
Okay.
You're just going to have to unmute yourself and say, Elizabeth, stop talking. Or write your question down and I'll answer you at the end, because when I'm talking, I literally do not pay attention to anything else going on to the screen. But thank you so much for having me, Cassie. The training I want to do tonight is about the action stack, and I cannot take any credit for this. Melissa Cuevas Collins is another Emerald ambassador, and she's the one who kind of put this together and developed it, and she was talking about it on one of the Jules pages, and so I reached out to her and I said, what is that? Because they all kind of seem to know. And so she kind of gave me some information, sent me a training audio to listen to, and I was blown away. It was so much great information that I recreated the notes, and I did a training for our team back in December, and the teammates who have started implementing this have seen a huge surge in their business, because now they know what they're doing is income producing and the best use of their time. So I'm going to be looking at my notes, because again, I did this in December and I want to make sure that I cover everything. But Melissa Cuevas Collins is an Emerald ambassador, and she said she was trying to come up with a tool to make the best use of her time. Everybody is busy. Nobody has extra time. And so she reached out to people in other network marketing businesses and asked them what they do. And so she took bits and pieces from different people and put together a sheet that she calls the action stack. And I will show you one example of it here in a minute. There is no one way to have an action stack. Some people like the daily form. Some people like a week at a glance. Some people want to just take that information in the categories and transfer it into their planner, or come up with a spiral and just use these topics or these sections of the action stack and incorporate it in a spiral. But I'm going to go through it with you. But let's see here. Okay. When we first sign up with Plexus and we decide to reach out and start sharing, it's very scary at first. But after we get over the fear of reaching out, it gets easier. People start asking you about it, start messaging you, start saying, what is that? Whenever you post, they start paying attention and coming to you. And in the beginning, a lot of us make the mistake that this isn't that hard. This is pretty easy. I've got all these people coming to me. I've got so many people interested. My inbox is, I'm getting tons of messages. That is our warm market, okay? We all have different warm markets. It really depends on who you're friends with. Are they people who jump on the new thing that comes out? Are they people who are researchers and take more time? So we're all going to have different levels of activity with our warm market, but generally, people come to us. We aren't having to reach out so much in the beginning because it's new. It's piquing people's interest. But after a while, you kind of go through your warm market. I'll tell you what, I've been doing this for almost 34 months. About a year ago, my warm market was pretty quiet. And so I really had to start thinking outside the box. And so I moved into meeting people, developing new relationships, and that's what we call your cold market. Your cold market takes time because this is a relationship business. It's going to take time. Well, this action stack was developed to help you develop those relationships for future Plexus ambassadors, Plexus customers to join your team. So this action stack is something you're going to do now to plant the seeds for harvest for later. So we've got to get an activity now. At Super Saturday, they were talking about 90 days from now. Think about the things you're doing today coming to fruition 90 days from now. This action stack is a great tool to help you get there. The first thing you need to do when you are a Plexus ambassador or when you decide to start sharing is to make a list. They talk about the Frank's list. Think of your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, your neighbors, your kids' activities, and your social groups. Make a list. No prejudging. Write down every person you can think of. Everyone who you think might be interested in the products, or they need the products and they just don't know it yet, or people that you would love to have on your team. Write their names down. Then I'm going to show you this action stack. I know you can't see it really well, but this is what it looks like. And I will be more than happy to send this to you, Cassie. I have 2 or 3 different versions. I'll try to send all of them so you all can have them for your team. But the first section, basically what you're going to do is each day, you're going to have an action of what you're going to be doing. And it always starts with quiet time in the morning. When you wake up, I know if you're like me, the first thing you do is grab your phone, see what's going on Facebook, check your points, check your email to see if you've gotten any new customers or new ambassadors. I do it all the time. What Melissa says we need to do is to stop. We need to choose what comes into our minds first thing in the morning. We need to spend quiet time. If you are, a believer, spend some time. You need to spend some time in a devotional or spend some time in the Word. Whatever you do to get your mind in a state that you're ready for your day. You don't want to start off hearing from a customer complaining or seeing somebody on Facebook griping. You don't want that to set the stage for your day. So choose positive, choose positivity, make a plan so that that's how you start your day. She uses Philippians 4:8, and I'm going to read it to you. You might have a favorite scripture that helps you get in the right mindset. But this is what Melissa uses. Let me open it up. Sorry, my thing. Okay. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So guys, we have so much power over what how we set our mindset for the day that we need to choose. We don't need to let Facebook choose. We don't need to let looking at our points and a customer turn their backup order off or whatever. We do not want to start our day that way. So she starts every day with quiet time. Positive affirmations, super important. If you have not read the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, I highly recommend it. It helps you retrain your brain to think positively. We always say we can't. We always say I could never, and we need to get out of that habit and train ourselves to believe that we can. If you think I don't have time for this, you need to say, you know what, I do have time for this. I will make time for this. It's important for my family. I will do this in the morning before I go to work. I will stay up later in the evening. I will find the time. Whatever you think you can't, whatever you think is holding you back in this business, you need to retrain your brain to say that you can. And if you need help with that, I know Cassie's familiar with it. I'm familiar with it. Let us help you write out some positive affirmations. Stick them, on your phone so you can look at those first thing in the morning. Stick them in your car. Stick them on your bathroom mirror. You read those to yourself throughout the day. I promise it will change your mindset and change how you think about yourself and your business and what you can do with this business. I'm kind of skimming over some of that. Hold on. Okay. The next part of this sheet says friend 3 new people on Facebook. And what you're going to do is you're going to, after you do that, you're going to write their names right here. Okay? You need to keep track of who you add. Before this came along, I would add people, but then I would be like, I don't know who I added. I don't know if they accepted my friend request because I don't remember who I sent a friend request to. You need to start keeping track. What I do now is as I friend request them, I put their names down. When they accept it, I make a little star or a check mark. I also add them to a list on a separate sheet of paper that says new Facebook friends, because I'll talk about that in a minute. You're going to want that list so you know who your new friends are on Facebook. So each day find 3. They usually have suggestions of people. What I do sometimes is even click on a friend and then click on their friends and find out who we might have in common that I forgot I knew also. Lately, I've been using those. I've been scrolling through those suggested friends, and if they have about 15 or fewer friends in common, then I think it might not be a Plexus ambassador, because if we have 120 people in common, it might be a Plexus ambassador. I don't want to become friends with her potentials. I want to find people who don't have a mutual Plexus person in common. I'll tell you what, that right there has been the hugest impact in expanding my network. I can't even tell you how many new relationships and new friendships started with people that I did not know until I sent them a friend request and they accepted. I have met the neatest people that I never would have known, that I really feel like God connected us. And I really have a deep friendship with 2 of them that mid-December, I didn't know who they were. In the last 2 months, I have really connected with several, and I really have a close relationship with 2 of them. And one of them is joining my team tomorrow, and the other one has to get doctor's approval, but will be joining soon. So you never know who that person knows. It's getting out of your immediate friends. Another reason I like expanding my Facebook friends with, getting outside my friends, a lot of times our friends think, well, she just wants me to do this because I'm her friend. She expects me to buy from her because she's my friend. These people have no expectations. They don't really think that. The people that I'm connecting with now are excited about, they're reaching out to me. I don't even say anything to them. I just comment and like on their stuff and don't say anything about Plexus, but they're seeing my posts and they're coming to me because they don't see an agenda. They don't think because I'm their friend, I'm expecting anything out of them. They're truly interested in the business or the product, and that's what makes it exciting. We kind of don't have all that awkwardness. It's about they're coming to me because they want to know about Plexus. So if you are not expanding your network by getting outside your friends and friending other people on Facebook, you need to do it. And I didn't really start doing that much till I started using this action sheet. Let's see here what she says about that. Choose friends wisely. Don't just go adding all kinds of people. Look at your Facebook wall. You don't want somebody out there that's, uses bad language all the time or talks negative or posts graphics that would shock you. There's all kinds of people on Facebook. Look for people who are positive. Look for people who are friendly. Look for people who might be in network marketing. Now, again, you're not going to start puking Plexus on them, but like-minded people click. And you never know if they're not happy with what they're doing, what they might be interested in. They might be reaching out to you. There are 1 billion people on Facebook. So you can't run out of people to contact and to connect with. If you are not on Facebook and you're trying to do this business, I'll be honest, you're going to have a super hard time being successful. I think I'm going to jump ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Facebook is the least non-invasive way to share Plexus, okay? It's hard to educate someone after the initial contact if they're not interested. If you're doing face-to-face and you let them know, hey, have you heard about Plexus? And they're like, yeah, I'm not interested, or no, I don't really care. It's hard to keep that conversation going. But if you use Facebook, they're seeing your stuff in your newsfeed. You're not in their face about it. You're not messaging them about it, but they're being educated. And a lot of times those people who, if you would have done a face-to-face with and they would have said no, they end up coming around because they've been educated. They've seen your post. They see that you're sticking with it. You haven't made it awkward for them. It is awkward if you try to keep bringing it up face-to-face with someone that says they're not interested. It's really hard to get past that. So if you're not on Facebook, I highly encourage you to do that if you really want to build a business. Another great way to meet people is go to other network marketing pages and friend them. Instapot. That's not really a network marketing, but I have friended people on those Instapot pages because they love to connect. They love to share. They love to talk. They love to comment. Friend some of them. Start liking their recipes. Start asking them a question. We all are trying to figure out this thing and how to use it. Connect with people in groups like that. It's a great way to meet new people. You can also find out who's making healthy recipes. And then you might think, that person might be interested in Plexus because they're looking for healthy recipes. Just little things like that are great ways to connect with new people. Again, this is long-term planning. You do not, when you friend these people, want to reach out and say, hey, I sell Plexus. Are you interested? You don't want to do that. I saw somewhere someone say, you need to date your prospects. It takes time. It takes relationship building. You want to develop that connection with them so they trust you and they want to work with you when they're ready. Let's see here. Oh, the next section, and I don't even have it on my sheet because I ran out of room. Every day, go to the birthdays and wish everybody a happy birthday every single day. Use their name. Don't just say happy birthday. Say happy birthday, Terry. Happy birthday, Sonia. Hope you have a great day. Use their name. Make it personal. Okay? That does resonate. You notice that one's more, you notice those happy birthday messages more when they come to you versus just happy birthday. This puts you in front of people that normally don't see your newsfeed. If you don't interact with these people a lot and you wish them a happy birthday and you went to high school with them 25 years ago, they might think, oh, wonder what Elizabeth's doing, and click on my name. Hello. They're going to see that I do Plexus. They might be having migraines. They might be wanting to be losing weight, and they might reach out to me. It gets you in front of people that you might not interact with often just by simply wishing them a happy birthday. Now, on your birthday, Melissa says to make sure you like each message and go through and see, who might be interested or who might I want on my team? Again, people are going to be coming to you that you don't normally see. Go through those happy birthday messages and think, oh yeah, oh, she would be awesome. Or, oh my goodness, whatever reason they might be interested in the products. It puts people in front of you that you might not see. Then she says, reach out to them. The ones that you would want to do the business with, reach out to them via Messenger and let them know you appreciate them taking time to wish you a happy birthday and start a conversation. Again, you're not going to mention Plexus. You might say, thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. We had a great day. I've noticed your pictures of your family on Facebook. How are you guys doing? You have the cutest kids. Get that conversation started with those key people that you would like to have on your team. Again, not mentioning Plexus, just starting a conversation. Okay, I already said that part. Hold on just a second. Okay. Pick out 10 to 20 dream teamers, people that you want to do this business with, okay, that you've written down on your list, and go to their timelines and sign up for their notifications. You can click something on their page that says get notifications. Do that, because if you're not interacting with them, they're not showing up in your newsfeed. But if you click get notifications, their stuff will show up in your newsfeed so that you can comment and like their stuff. Now, you're not going to immediately go to their page and click like on the last 10 posts and message, comment on something from last week, because that looks like stalking. But you just gently start liking their things and maybe comment on something, or say, hey, I'm so glad, I found you on Facebook. You look great, or whatever. Pay close attention to what they post. Melissa shared a story about a dream teamer that she wanted on her team. And she didn't look at their timeline. And she got bold enough to reach out and say, I would love to have you on my team. Have you ever thought about, giving Plexus a try, or whatever she said? And that person came back and said, our house burned down 2 weeks ago. I don't have time to think about another thing. And Melissa felt awful. She felt terrible. She had no idea, because again, she hadn't seen that girl's Facebook wall, didn't take time to go to her wall and kind of see what's going on in her life. So it's important to make sure to connect with these people that you want on your team, okay? I promise it'll make all the difference in the world, because Melissa would have never reached out to that person if she would have known her house just burned down. So pay attention to that, build that relationship. The next section of this sheet is contact 5 new people. 5 new people about Plexus that you've never reached out to. If that's too much for you, you set the number that works for you. Keep this in mind. We all need to be setting goals, okay? If what you are doing right now is helping you get to your goal, you might consider staying with what you're doing. If it's not, you need to amp it up. Okay? You decide the number of people that is helping you get to your next goal, on how many new people you're going to contact. Okay? When you reach out to them about Plexus, I'm going to give you something to say here in a minute. If they show interest, you're going to give them a special piece of paper. It's called a SPP, special piece of paper. All it is a piece of paper with their name on it for you to track conversations with them. What the date, what the conversation was, maybe what their issues are. Write down what you recommended. Write down what they said. Did they say they're going to order? We use Messenger a lot for that. She said, do not use Messenger alone, because messages get lost. People that rely on Messenger miss out on customers and ambassadors because they get lost. You forget, okay? It's a great tool, like to remember a conversation with somebody. You can type in their name, but if you don't remember having that conversation, you're never going to go back and look it up anyway. Write the name, give them a special piece of paper, and track it in a spiral or a notebook so that you have everyone you've talked to in front of you at all times without having to remember and look through Messenger. She said that's made a huge difference. She said she personally has missed out on people because she was keeping track through Messenger, and they ended up going to somebody else because she forgot to follow up, or she didn't check back often enough, and they went with somebody else. Here's what you say. You want to personalize it. In the beginning, it doesn't even have to be about Plexus. In fact, it most of the time should not be about Plexus. You're just starting that conversation. Think about the person and how they would respond. If you think they would be open to it, or they themselves are in network marketing or have been in network marketing, you can say something like, hey, Kara, I'm not sure if you've seen my posts, or if you've been doing it for so long that there's no way in heck that they haven't seen your posts, like me. You could say, okay, I know you've seen my posts, but if you ever want to try Plexus, I would love to work with you. That is not salesy at all. That is merely letting them know that if they're interested, you want to help them. Okay? People are not going to be turned off by that at all. You're not asking them to do anything. Okay? If you don't hear back, don't get upset because you didn't ask them to tell you yes or no. You've planted that seed. And don't get upset if you see that they read your message but they didn't say anything. That might tell you right now that's not a high priority for me. Okay? But again, you didn't say let me know. You didn't say please tell me. You didn't ask for any action. You are merely sharing. They're not going to be turned off by it. They know you would love to help them. Okay? Another thing that's been going around is this magic message. Hey, I'm sure by now you've seen my posts about Plexus. Have you ever tried it? Another great way to check with people about Plexus. Okay, that one kind of does ask for a response, but again, you're not asking them to buy. You're not asking them to, do anything. You're just curious if they've tried it. A lot of times that's all people need. That's all the invitation people need to say, you know what, I haven't, but I am kind of curious. And then you can send them a sample. Or you can say, hey, we have 3-day trials with free shipping. You ought to try it. Whatever you want to do. Very non-invasive, very non-salesy, great way to talk to people about Plexus. Let me scan through here. Okay, if people reach out to you or respond, yeah, I think I am kind of interested, do everything you can before sending them to your website. You do not want to immediately say, well, go to my website and check it out, okay? If they've never been on the website before, it's going to be overwhelming, and it's probably going to be a little frustrating, and they're going to get distracted, and there's 3 ways to buy and all of that. It's going to be confusing. You want to give them the information, preferably face-to-face or over the phone, not just texting, not just sending, copy and paste. It's best to do it face-to-face or over the phone. A 5-minute conversation with them is better. You can ask them questions because people mostly assume it's the pink drink. Well, how much is it? Well, we have 15 products. We have to figure out first, what your needs are. Let's figure out the best products for you, and then we'll go from there. Once you assess by asking questions what they need, you make a suggestion. They're going to say, okay, how much is it? And you say, well, we have 3 ways to buy. Briefly talk about that. You can generally say for most of our combos, in a way that's not going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. You can say, let me see where it is. Our products or our combos are about $3 to $4 a day. That sounds so much better than saying $140 a month. Okay, people can't comprehend how much they spend at Quick Trip, how much they spend at Starbucks, how much they spend, in the vending machine. They can understand $3 to $4 a day, and that sounds doable to most people if they're really wanting to do something to benefit them. I just simply share, if they say it sounds expensive, I use the feel, felt, found, which is, I understand what you're saying. In fact, I didn't even check into it myself for a year because I thought it was too expensive. But what I found was when I started drinking the pink drink, I didn't go to Starbucks every day. So I actually ended up saving money. Again, using that feel, felt, found method connects with them, helps them relate to you, not salesy at all. You're not pushing anything on them. It helps them see they can do this too. $3 to $4 a day is a great way to kind of give them an idea of what it would cost. When they say, what is Plexus? I love this. I don't even remember where I got this. Probably watching a video, or maybe I got it from Melissa. I can't remember, but I absolutely love this, and it works. It's the easiest thing I've ever said when somebody says, what is Plexus? I used to say, well, it's a line of natural health products that help with gut health, blood sugar, inflammation, chronic pain. And if people aren't suffering from that, or they don't think they are because they don't really know why they have migraines or understand why they don't feel good, they'll be like, oh, well, I don't need any of that. I don't have those issues. Conversation's over. But instead, if you say, we have natural products that are helping people feel better, who doesn't like to feel better? Everybody. Everybody wants to feel better. Nobody can say, oops, I don't need that. I feel amazing all the time. Nobody does. We all would complain. I'm tired. I don't have any energy. I want to lose weight. You know, I have migraines. Nobody feels 100% great and couldn't feel better. So what that does is cause them to lean in and want more. Feel better how? And that's when you share your story. I would say, well, I was overweight, addicted to sugar, and drank coffee all day. Within a week, I was sleeping great. I wasn't drinking 4 cups of coffee anymore. I was starting to lose weight, and I had excellent energy for my 3 and 4-year-olds at school. I didn't sell them anything. I shared my story. Okay? It's a great approach. It has worked every single time. Not to say it ended up in a sale, but it came across natural. I didn't feel like, okay, what am I supposed to say? What's the verbiage? What am I supposed to say when she says this? It was a conversation starter, and it was natural for me, and it felt natural for the person asking. So it's just the easiest thing I've ever come across saying when somebody says, what is Plexus? Another thing she says is, if you tell them too much, the conversation ends because they think, oh, she told me everything I need to know. You tell them a little bit and get them to ask more. That keeps the conversation going. Okay, following up with 2 prospects is the next part of this sheet. 2 people that you've already talked to about Plexus. 2 people that you've either reached out to or they've reached out to you. You're going to follow up. You hear the fortune is in the follow-up. It is. I just signed somebody up on my team that I've been talking to off and on 2.5 years, a long time. Within the first 6 months that I started. Yeah. So you can't follow up enough until they tell you, don't bother me anymore. You keep reaching out and following up. Because if you do it in the right way and they know your heart and they know you, it's not going to bother them. You're not going to do it every week, but you're going to check with them every month, couple of months, depending on the person, and just let them know, hey, you know, are you ready to give it a try? If there's a special, just reach out. Just don't give up on people. Again, I waited a year. Hold on, sorry. I waited a year, and the 2 people that approached me in the beginning quit reaching out to me when I wasn't ready because I was losing weight by starving myself. Quit reaching out to me. So when Hannah posted, I reached out to her and signed up. So, I mean, don't quit on people. They have to be ready. You don't want them before they're ready, or they're going to turn into a white line, or they're going to try it 1 month and quit. You want people when they're ready to make a change. When you're following up with your 2 prospects, use whatever system you want to. Melissa said she tried everything. She tried the index card. She tried alphabetical order. She tried, going by the date from the last time she talked to him. And she finally said the best thing to do, and this is what I was naturally doing, didn't even really think about it. I just flip through and think, oh, I haven't talked to her in a while. I'm going to check in with her. Or, oh, I just saw the other day she was posting about being sick again. She's got a sinus infection. Something will click and make it think that's the right person for me to reach out to today. So she said there is no rhyme or reason. Just reach out to who jumps out at you when you're flipping through those special pieces of paper. Remember, you start one for everybody who's interested. And use that as your tool. But you're going to write them down so you know who you followed up with when. And what I do also is next to their name, after I follow up with them, I make a little note. And on the contact 5 new people that I just talked about up here, I'll make a little note like, said not right now, or, I'm calling them tomorrow, or whatever. I write it on this sheet too for future reference. Let's see here. Things you could say when you're following up. Have you thought more about this? Can I answer any questions to help you make a decision? Or you could send them a testimony. You know what? I know you suffer with migraines, and I just saw this. Because, guys, we can't share those things on our wall. If it says migraines, we can't share it, but you can private message it. So that's a good excuse to reach out to people, okay? Because they're not going to be able to see it on your wall. You're not going to be able to get specific with them on your wall. So you, as their friend, reach out to them and say, I just wanted to share this with you. I saw it and I immediately thought of you. Again, you're not asking them to buy. You're not putting them on the spot. You're showing them that you care. Also, use your notes that you've taken on your special piece of paper to determine what to say in the follow-up. That's another great reason. That's another great reason to have that special piece of paper. It'll kind of guide the conversation and help you know what to say the next time you reach out. The next portion is post on Facebook 3 times a day. Now, I am super guilty of posting about Plexus a lot. I need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, but I love Plexus. And I have 3 teenage and grown boys who do not like me to share about their lives on Facebook. So I share a lot about Plexus, but you don't want to just share about Plexus. You want Plexus to be part of your story, not your life. Because what that does is if somebody's thinking about doing it and they see, oh my gosh, you're on there 24/7, graphic, post, I don't want to do that. But if you're weaving Plexus in and out through your post, not making it always a blatant Plexus post, even just going to get your nails done during the day, not even mentioning Plexus, lets people see the lifestyle that you're able to live thanks to Plexus. They're going to put 2 and 2 together. So you don't always have to mention Plexus, but you do want to share about your life because your friends became your friends on Facebook before Plexus, for the most part, and they are interested in finding out what you're doing. If you switch from that to 100% Plexus, I promise you, they're going to unfollow you, and they won't be able to see your posts. So weave it in and out. Try to do a personal post each day, 1 to 2 Plexus posts a day. I need to follow my own advice. And maybe a motivational post each day. People who love motivational posts are motivators, and they're motivated by positivity. Those are the people you want liking and commenting on your newsfeed. Those are the people you want to interact with on your Facebook wall. So post things that are going to draw the type of people you want to see your posts. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. Don't worry about blowing up your friends' news feeds. As long as you're being personal, along with Plexus, you're good. Okay? We don't want to be apologetic for sharing. We don't want to be timid. We don't want to sound like, I'm so sorry, because we're not sorry. We are helping people. We are changing their lives. We want the best for everybody. If you posture it from that, from strength and, your heart, and what you're talking about, even though you're not vomiting all the details, that speaks to people. If you're timid and apologetic and unsure and just posting graphic, join my team, people aren't going to resonate with that. If people want to make a health change, or if people want a financial change in their lives, they want somebody that knows what they're talking about. They want somebody who's passionate, who's positive, who they know will be there. Be that person through the way you post and the way you share and the things you post that are not Plexus. We don't want to get on Facebook and vent. Or a lot of people are really passive aggressive on Facebook, and they've got an issue, so they kind of talk about it without really talking about it. People don't like to join people like that. You want to be positive. I'm not saying we can't have a bad day. Heck, we all have bad days. You can even say, today's not my best day. I'm drinking an extra pink drink or something. You want to be real, but you're your brand. Brand yourself in a way that draws people. Think about maybe what drew you to the person who signed you up. Okay? Go back and look at your Facebook wall and look at the last couple of weeks. Would you want to join you? I mean, I've done that. I do that to myself every once in a while, and then I realize I got way too many Plexus posts. But is it positive? Is it energetic? Is it passionate? Does it show who you are? Would it draw you in? The next section that I don't, oh yeah, I do. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, my notes are in a different order. Follow up with one current customer or one ambassador on your team, depending on where you are at in your business. Okay, maybe you don't have a team yet, or maybe you just have a couple of people on your team. Okay, after you reach out to those Monday and Tuesday, who are you going to reach out on to Wednesday? You don't necessarily need to reach out to that first ambassador again. Reach out to your customers. In the beginning, you kind of want to treat all your ambassadors when they first sign up like a customer. The most important thing for new ambassadors to do is stay on your products. Get consistent. As their upline, you need to be checking in with them. You need to help them tweak their regimen. You need to build their belief in Plexus by building their belief in these products by being consistent. People share what they love. You want your new ambassadors to love these products so that they can't shut up about it. So they want to tell their family and friends. Because most of us, when we signed up, we're not going to be doing the business. I told Hannah, no way. I'm not even telling anybody I'm taking these products because I was skeptical, but I was desperate. But by day 3, I got over it because I was feeling good. And then I felt guilty that I wasn't telling people. So I started telling people. But got to keep your customers and your ambassadors on these products. So you've got to be there for them. Otherwise, they could have gone to GNC, they could have gone to Walmart to buy a probiotic and quit because they weren't getting any help. When they join Plexus or when they become our customer, they also get their own personal customer service representative or coach. So be that person for them. So if, a lot of times we think, oh yeah, I reach out to my team. Write their name down and see how often you reach out to them. This holds you accountable, helps you keep track because we all think every day, oh yeah, I reached out to 3. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I followed up with 2. Write their names down and see, are you really? Because I thought I was too until I started writing it down. I was like, oh gosh, no, I got 2 more people to reach out to. This helps tremendously. I'm sorry, I'm scanning here. When you reach out to your customers or your new ambassador, take notes on how they're doing. The best way to learn about these products is to get them in people. That's what Melissa said. You don't need to know all the ins and outs of the ingredients. You need to get people on these products. You need to monitor their progress with them and work closely with them, and that's how you're going to learn. You don't have to know it all to share these products. We have testimonies. We now have some clinical studies. We have enough out there for you to feel comfortable telling people about these products. Okay? Share. Get people on them. Work closely with them. Your belief will build. Being on the products yourself, your belief will build as you go. So don't wait. Start reaching out and get these products in people, and it will help build your belief and theirs. Melissa says, do not spend tons of time learning about product details. People don't want to know all that. They want to know, do these products work? Will they work for me? How much is it? Okay? Spend your time instead contacting new people as fast as you can. You determine your speed and know that it must match your goals. If you're silver and you want to be Ruby by convention, you need to determine how many people you need to reach out to each day to make that goal. I doubt it's 2. I doubt it's 3. Unless you have a lot of friends who are ready to jump in. I don't know. But you can try that out. And if you aren't getting some action, getting some momentum going, you need to up your goal. To reach goals, you've got to be flexible. You've got to be keeping track. Is what I'm doing getting me to where I'm going? Or do I need to change something? Okay. Also, I don't have it on here. Again, I ran out of room and it's probably on a different form. If you have a team that's been around for a little bit and you have what we call white lines, inactive ambassadors, I encourage you to reach out to one of those a day. Just check in with them. I don't mean check in with them about Plexus to see if they're ready to come back. Just check in with them. Keep that relationship going. So many times in network marketing, and this happened to me in my other network marketing company I did several years ago, and she was my neighbor. And once I decided that company wasn't a good fit for me, it's like she didn't know anymore. I'd see her at football games. It was awkward. She lived down the street from me. I never got invited to her house again. And so it really left a bad taste in my mouth. So stay connected to those people that were your friends, especially if they're your level ones. They were your friends before Plexus. Keep that relationship going. Let them know the door's always open. I've had ambassadors come back. I've had some actually terminate and re-sign up about a year and a half later because I was still there for them. I was still their friend. I was still seeing their stuff on Facebook. Okay? Let people know the door is always open because maybe they signed up before they were ready to commit. And if you give them the cold shoulder or they feel like they're getting the cold shoulder because you've moved on and you aren't connected with them anymore, when they are ready, they're probably going to feel too awkward to come back to you and they're going to go to somebody else. So keep that relationship going, stay in contact with them, and just purposefully reach out to them and see how they're doing. The last one on here we put as a bonus to set up a 3-way chat, which can be you, somebody below you, and their potential. It could be you and your upline with one of your potentials. Okay? It can be you and 2 of your ambassadors, whatever. Connect with somebody through a 3-way chat or a Zoom, a mini Zoom. I like doing Zooms better. But try to do that every day. Well, this is where I have it. Or check in with a past customer or inactive ambassador. So either or is a bonus. Using this sheet's going to help you see what activity you're doing. You might set this up for the week, or you might set it up the night before for the next day, whatever works for you. The point is writing down what you're going to do, having a plan. We say have a power hour. You could do this business in an hour a day, 15 minutes before work, 15 minutes at lunch, 15 minutes after dinner, 15 minutes at bedtime, whatever works for you. Make the most of it by having all the work you're going to do written down. Don't be like, oh, now I got to get on Facebook and I got to figure out who I'm going to reach out to. You've wasted 2 hours on Facebook. But if you have it written down, your action stack, you can knock that out and then you can scroll on Facebook. I am so guilty of thinking I worked my business and I spent the whole morning on Facebook. Okay? Do that after you do what you said you were going to do on your action stack. Another thing that Melissa suggests, and we all need to be doing it, is get to know your back office. Look up where to find information. Look at your genealogy report. If you have a team, you need to be looking at that daily. I look at it many times a day. Check and see if backup orders are being shipped out on time. Check and see if somebody maybe ordered last month but didn't order this month, and check in with them. See who's got the top PV so far for the month and give them some recognition. If somebody signed up a new ambassador, their first ambassador, give them a shout out. Use that report for recognition, for tracking, for maybe where you need to do some training, for where you need to maybe check on them. But get to use those reports. That genealogy report is priceless. It tells you where you're at. It tells you maybe where you need to spend some time doing some training. But mostly use it for recognition. you can give away prizes, you can do contests, and that's all great. But being recognized for your hard work, or doing something scary, stepping out of your comfort zone and making that first post, or doing a three-way chat, your first three-way chat, getting recognized means more than a prize. So make sure that you do that. And that is something I was actually guilty of not doing enough. I could do contests all day long. I wasn't doing enough personal recognition. So that's one of my goals. Again, thanks to this action stack, it's brought to my attention. I need to do that more. Let's see here. So to sum it up, the action stack is simple. Teach it to your new people when they join. Let them know this is how our team works their business. It's concrete. It's exactly what they need to do. It doesn't leave them going, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying. I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to. I don't even know how to approach them. This sheet and training them on how to use each part of it is going to get them started off on the right foot. It's very duplicatable. And this tool gives people the confidence to work the business. They have a simple plan that is easy to follow. So, again, the people on my team who have started implementing this in January are having huge success. I have been using it, and I will be honest, I'm not using it every single day. I planned on it, but then the 60-day trim-up challenge started and all these other things popped up. So I am doing it, and I still work part-time. I work 3 days a week. But I'll tell you what, it's really helped me hone in on where my weaknesses are, how much I'm actually doing of this, and it's been a great way. I am not organized at all. This has been a great way for me to stay organized. So I'm going to open it up to questions now. I did skip over a few things because I didn't want to talk forever. I don't even know what time it is. Oh my gosh, it's 8:54. Okay, I'm here to answer any questions. I appreciate you guys letting me share, and I hope that this made sense, and I will send this to Cassie along with a couple of other ones for you to tweak and use as you see fit.
I'm going to ask a couple questions. Thank you. That's very helpful, and I really like that. I have seen a similar sheet, but there's some things on that sheet that I think I like better. So thank you for going over that.
You're welcome.
Sorry. What do you think is one of the number one things that helped you get from Ruby Senior Ruby to Emerald? Like what was there something that you did differently? Was there something that you did more of, something that you did less of? What was it that really propelled you to that Emerald promotion?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's my team. It's rallying together for a common goal. I'm telling you what, I could tell my story about it, but I was like 267 points away from Emerald the last 2 days. I mean, it was something ridiculously crazy. But becoming a family with your team and pouring into them, not just giving them training, not just being there for Plexus, but really connecting and bonding, I think made all the difference. It really brought our team together. They wanted to see me promote maybe even more than I did. But I also in turn pour into them and try to build them up as leaders. But honestly, I think it's just the fact that we are so close now, that we share life together. And I think just everybody pouring into each other has kind of built everybody up. And as people stepped out of their comfort zone and would share that they were doing that, it caused other people to see, you know what, she's doing it, I'm going to do it. So it's like we fed off of each other, this momentum and this desire to help each other succeed, even if it wasn't benefiting us, for just a common purpose and just on this mission to help as many people as we can. I don't really know if that's answering your question. I just saw that's what was going on with my team, is becoming closer, building each other up, building the belief in ourselves that we could do this, and then just recognizing and seeing all the success going on through all levels of our team.
I think that's good. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Go ahead and unmute
There's
yourself.
some chats, but I don't know how to do it.
I have a lot of questions.
Okay, yeah, go for it, Chelsea.
Excuse me, I have the flu or had the flu, so I'm a little under the weather. That's why I look. Yeah, I was bragging about how Plexus has kept me not sick, and it did for 2 years, and I, knock on wood, got the flu.
Yeah.
Anyways, my big thing is, so would you say you primarily used Facebook to, I guess, is that your primary means of getting your ambassadors and your customers? Because I actually live in Tulsa now too, but my primary friends, family, they're all in the Oklahoma City metro area and also in Texas. So moving to a new place, I don't know anybody,
Yes. I mean, I would see people, like I'm a teacher, I would see people at school, but I didn't stop them in the hall and tell them about Triplex. They saw all that, so they might reach out to me in person. But I would say 95% at least got their belief built or their interest in Plexus through my newsfeed.
Okay.
Because I don't approach people at church. I don't bring it up unless people bring it up face to face with me. But they've all, even though they're not liking or commenting, they're seeing it. And I'm being intentional on, building that relationship through Facebook, going to their newsfeed. So, staying connected. And then in person, I don't bring it up because I don't want them to think I'm just talking to you because I want you to be my customer. They see me in real life and know what kind of person I am. And so I feel like the Facebook has kind of taken care of the Plexus part of it. And they reach out to me in person or on Facebook when they're ready. So I can't really think of a person that has joined my team that I've solely just talked to them about Plexus without them seeing my Facebook posts. I mean, there might be one, but I can't, off the top of my hand, I can't think of any.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to matter that you're new here, and you're welcome to come to our meetings. And you can Facebook friend me so we can stay in touch, so you can definitely be connected with our team. But I don't think it's really going to make a huge difference that your family and friends are in Texas and Oklahoma City. If they're on Facebook, it's really not going to be any different.
Because I've been, watching more videos and they're like, do sip and sees and things like that. And I've, gone to the library and met other moms, and lo and behold, network marketing is big right now. And a lot of the other moms, are doing other things. So it's funny because they all want to add each, like, oh yeah, they added me on Facebook. And then I see like, well, yeah, they added me on Facebook because they're in skincare or makeup or something else. So.
But you don't know if in 2 months they're still going to be doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because their comp plan, they're going to find out their comp plan's not that great. Or you have a limited market on who's even going to be interested in your product. Plexus is for everybody.
Exactly, yeah.
And so you really want to connect with those people, because that means they love the idea of network marketing, but they might not be in the right company. And so you want to be their friend, because that says something about you, that you want to be their Facebook friend, because you already know they're in another company. So it's not about you trying to get them on your Plexus team. I'm working with I'm friends with several other network marketers that I have on my dream team list, but I'm not telling them that because I have integrity and I don't want to feel like I'm stealing them. But whenever their business, if it doesn't work out, then they're already friends with me on Facebook and maybe reach out to me and say they want to do Plexus. Or if they see me and say I'm no longer doing that, I might say, hey, have you thought about Plexus? I mean, we'll see. But, network marketers are great people to have as Facebook friends.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Makes sense.
Elizabeth, how do you approach cold messaging? Because I know that my team does a boot camp training. It's a 2-week thing, and one of the challenges is to do some cold messages to your Franks list people. But they get a ton of crickets, and I think a lot of that is because it's a cold message. You haven't talked to these people in a while, and then you're like, hey.
Back when we were all doing that.
You're like, what? I'm sorry, how do I know you? So how do you approach cold messaging?
Well, back when we were all doing that, the perfect message, and you'd send it out and all this. I didn't really have very good success with that. And I'm kind of embarrassed now on some of them because, again, like you're right, I haven't talked to her since 8th grade. And I'm like, I want you on my team because she had, well, one of them it's because she knows the Pioneer Woman. So I'm thinking, I would like to have her on my team. But it's awkward and I didn't like it. What I do with cold messaging now is it's basically reaching out to them and connecting with them. I'm not bringing up Plexus. Yeah. I don't know the last time I've cold messaged about Plexus other than I know you've seen my posts. Have you tried it? If we're considering that cold messaging, I'm all over that. But say, you're on my dream team list. I would love to have you on my team. Have you ever heard of it? Blah, 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 blah. No, my cold messaging is now just reconnecting or just connecting and building that relationship. Yeah. I didn't have too much success with that.
I knew that was going to be your answer. That's why I asked that question. Because
I know, we were all like, well, if we don't reach out to him, somebody else will. Well, you could still reach out to him and start that relationship. And then, I felt kind of, I don't know what the word is. Used car salesman kind of. I don't know what the word is. I just felt
slimy.
Yeah. Even though I really did want those people on my team, and I think they're great people, I didn't have a relationship with them in a long time. So, no.
Ashley, I know you're on here, and you're my question girl. Do you have any questions?
Hi. I do. It was a little bit on Chelsea's, but and I've asked this before. As far as reaching out, can you hear me okay? Okay. So this is kind of a plan that I had this month was to try and get this magazine out that our brand new catalog out to as many places as I could. Has anyone ever tried that before? And what have you gotten from that as far as kind of sending some information, kind of sliding it on like a table or kind of like the wellness center we have here, or my doctor's office, who I have a very good relationship with. I have, 3 or 4, the doctor's office that I used to work for. I have so many places in mind. Have you ever done anything like that, like reached out, kind of passed out your stuff, I guess, if you will, and had any success with it?
I haven't done like catalogs really, like left them places, but business cards, every restaurant. I used to do that all the time, pin them up on boards, and honestly, I've not gotten one lead from it. I think it just goes back to needing to build that relationship with people. If it's just laying on a table, if I was reading it, I don't know that I would contact the person on the magazine because I wouldn't know who they were. I think it's better to give it to somebody that you've talked to. I think it's better use of your money than leaving catalogs somewhere. I don't know if you've talked to them about maybe setting up a table, if they do any sort of health and wellness fair that you could participate in where you could actually talk to people and make some contacts that way. But in the beginning, I was leaving business cards everywhere. I was leaving them in every restaurant. Every time I went to, the gym, I'd leave them in the locker room. I've never gotten a lead from it. And again, if I would have found somebody's business card I didn't know, I probably wouldn't have done it either. So that's just my experience.
Yeah, and you're right. Because, those catalogs are really nice, and they're a good chunk of, I don't want to just leave them around like cards and, without it being successful. But it is such a great catalog. I was wanting to, I want everyone else to be able to see it. So, thank you. That was one thing on my list, and I might rethink that. So.
Now, you said that you're friends with or close to the people at the doctor's office. Have you considered talking to them about Plexus for them personally?
Yeah, my
relationship.
Yeah, so all of our doctors know that I'm on it, and they approve it, and they've had other patients. So we kind of have that relationship. It's not been like, hey, would you like to try it? Would you like to be on my team?
Have you thought about reaching out to them and saying, if you know anybody that you think could benefit, would you give them my card? or something like that, like a referral. So you're not really putting them on the spot to try it, but that you value their opinion and you value, you know, people would listen to them. Just say, here's some business cards. If you think, you know, anybody that could benefit, would you give them my number? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. And that's a big step, but yes, that's something to consider, especially if I'm wanting to leave a catalog. And we have like all of our yearlies coming up within the next like month or two, like every single person in our household. So I will be seeing a lot of them. So we'll hope that conversation goes well.
I bet you if you left a catalog and some pink drink samples with that office, you know, those women are all going to be looking through that catalog. They're all going to be trying that pink drink.
I know.
You know, customer out of it versus leaving it in the waiting room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're probably right.
You might consider doing that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions?
I kind of another quick question. Where do you find the non-compliant posts to private message? Is there a Facebook group that has like non-compliant testimonies? So if like you or do you just kind of have to know somebody?
There's a lot of Facebook groups,
but they're
getting harder and harder to find. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you use the search bar at all, but you can type in like plexus migraines.
Okay.
That's what I use all the time. Plexus IBS. And if they're out there still and they're on, you know, and I'm also in a lot of groups that are private. You know, you might ask on your team page, like, I need some testimonies on migraines. Is there a page? And then somebody can add you to it. Because a lot of those are, you know, not going to be public. But that would be a good place. But I use that Facebook search bar for everything. So that's what I would do. And then also save them. When you get one that's a good one, save it because it might end up disappearing. That's what YouTube, a lot of the videos that used to be on there are no longer on there.
Yeah, that's true. There was one about this cool guy with like that used to have cancer and he didn't anymore. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I went to look it up and it was gone. I was like, no.
Yeah, they've cleaned it up. They had to. Yeah. But so yeah, that's what I love about following up with people is that's a real reason to do it because you know these people need this information and you can't post it, so it gives you a reason to reach out. But I highly suggest saving any that you do find because who knows? I'm hoping maybe they're going to do more clinical studies and that we'll actually get more leniency instead of less, but just in case.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay, we probably have time for one more question. If anybody would like to ask them. I think I saw it said Maria raised her hand, but I don't see her name on there. So I'm wondering if maybe she accidentally hit that button when she was getting off. I don't see her. Okay, so anybody else have a question for Elizabeth before we hop off of here?
I challenge you guys to use that what is Plexus answer? A line of natural products and helping people feel better. I challenge you to use that. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how easy the conversation goes and how interested people are and not turned off. It does not sound salesy at all. And it's been a huge game changer for me. I just did it during jury duty in the elevator. And jury duty is a great way to meet new people. I expanded my network. In fact, a couple people are going to order from me. But just try to use every experience you have to just meet new people. And not in a Plexus way, just genuinely connecting with people. Use every opportunity. Don't sit at sporting events or your children's practices on your phone. Use that time talking to other moms, talking to people around you. Just some of the close relationships I have through doing things like that lately. I don't know. It's been a huge blessing to me, and I've really made some lifelong friends, I believe, just by stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit and meeting new people. So I challenge you all to do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. That is something that I'm going to challenge myself to do because I'm such a nose in the phone kind of person. So thank you guys for hopping on here tonight. Thank you, Elizabeth, for taking
You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys have a great evening.
Well, I hope you guys have a good evening too. And Elizabeth, I'll send you the recording for this if you want to share it with some of your people, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening.
All right. You guys have a good night.